Hello, everyone watching and listening. And this is something real special. It's not every day that you get to talk to one of the best in the business, Dr. Earnest Pugh. How you feeling?
Wow, that was huge, man. I got to live up to it. The pressure, the pressure, the pressure.
Man, no, it's an honor to talk to you once again. And this time it's about something really big. It's so big that they put super in the name, Gospel Superfest.
Absolutely, man. Love Dr. Cartwright, man. I've been rocking with him for years, man. Also,
Yeah.
Superfest. So this is amazing.
Yeah, and I got the pleasure to meet him a few weeks ago for the first time, and this lineup that he's bringing on August 20th. Oh my goodness,
It's like go big or go home. You see what I'm saying?
man! Yeah, yeah. And so I just got hip to the in depth history of Gospel Superfest. But what is some stuff about Gospel Superfest that we may not know that you've got to experience?
Well, what I will say is that Dr. Cartwright reposts and he re-airs the shows, and
Mm-hmm.
re-airs it. That means the people don't just get that one experience that night, but it's an ongoing, continual process of them experiencing all that transpires on that night. I always tease him, and I say, "Man, I can tell when the years that I have not been able to do Superfest, I said my dates was just a little bit slower." Because if he's posting you on that stage, the people are constantly calling you. So I teased him. I said I need to be on every year so my tour dates can continue to pick up.
Well, your summer has already been busy, and is going to continue to be busy up and through uh, the Superfest. So, what are some things that you've been doing this summer?
Well, we have been on tour since things have opened back up. I released a new single called "God Did It," so it's impacting radio right now. So we are still doing 3 to 5 markets a week, which will probably continue on through because as the song continues to grow, and then by the time Dr. Kyrie airs it on. The airs God Did It on TV, it's going to be like, man, nonstop. So we've been doing that. I released a book called Abiding in God's Presence that is a bestseller on the Amazon. We
Mhm.
also have a nonprofit organization that we are preparing for, which is a big food drive in November and a toy drive in December for veterans.
Wow.
It's privation issues, food, shelter, and clothing is what Veterans Emergency Relief does. So it's, man, I don't get a whole lot of sleep, but I'm having a great time. And I'm just glad to be opened up again since the pandemic is over to come and share music and ministry with people, man, in person.
Yeah. So, are you to the point where you wake up and you forget what city you in?
Exactly. Whether you're on the East Coast, the West Coast, what time is this?
Right.
So I'm grateful that the Apple Calendar will kind of sync it up for you. Like you don't know you're on Central Standard Time, but the calendar knows. So
Okay. No, that's good.
technology.
Because because I've seen too that you've been a part of a lot of celebrations.
Yeah.
So not just your own personal concerts, but people inviting you to help them celebrate their cause. So what is the honor that you get when you get those phone calls and those bookings?
Well, the Bible just talks about it, man. We should always give honor where honor is due. And so
Mm,
I love to take my time, especially for the OGs, the ones that have been on the wall for a long time. They're the shoulders on which all the new generation stands on. So you always got to come back and give homage to the ones who have like really kicked the door open so that you could walk.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
No, that's good. Because like I think we lose sight of, especially in this social culture where we see people pop up all the time saying, self-made or independent and strong. Like it's like there is nobody that does anything on their own. Even if someone else told you yes, that was someone else helping you out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm telling you, you can't beat it. You can't beat it when you come back and you really tell the story. Even like now, we're challenged with a lot of the history. Just think about it. For them to
Mm,
try to erase something that transpired years and years and years ago, it's gonna
mm,
really that's gonna kind of adversely affect even people's purpose, their purpose for being, their purpose for living. So I think that you should always kind of connect the historical aspect of where we are today. Even with me, I want to go places, but I'll never forget where I came from. I think that's just imperative. Even when you go get a job, people ask you, where'd you come from? What country did you come from? Who are your parents? What is your background? So there's always going to be some type of connection to where you've been, to get you to here.
Okay, so it's kind of staying with that, because I think you're on the verge of teaching us something.
Yeah.
Like, what if where you come from isn't necessarily a good place?
Right. Well, if you remember when Jesus says, can anything good come out of the hood? Jesus came from Nazareth, which was good. And although that was a place associated with death, what did he do? He came and he brought us life. So it's not what you go through, but it's how you go through it.
Wow.
Just like people say, if you give you lemon, what are you going to do? You're going to make lemonade. You cannot become a product of your environment, but you really can use that to really push you into purpose. Like me, I came from the outskirts of Memphis, Tennessee. You would get shot on the street just for a pair of tennis shoes. So I always said in my mind, I've got to do better. I got to get my degree, because this is going to be my escape from the hood. So I knew education, the military. At some point, I had to use what I was looking at with my eyes to create vision for me to go to another place. I knew that there was better. And so my prayer is that when people see challenges in life, they liken it as unto being in the gym. When anything that opposes you, like weights that you're lifting, it's actually opposing you, but at the same time, it's building muscle. So your past or your bad situations can always turn into good situations. God always has a plan. And I think you have to take that. Even when you're making a cake, people don't like to taste butter by itself, flour by itself, sugar by itself. Mix it all together. All things work together for you good.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And I think, because what you're describing in this essence is faith. Because you said that I know there's something better even when you were in a dark place.
Yes.
And I think a lot of, especially in our community specifically, we know about better stuff, but it's the better stuff that doesn't benefit us.
Yes.
Like, we know about the bigger houses, the bigger clothes, the nicer clothes and the nicer shoes, but it's like, but you're trying to bring stuff to you instead of getting out what you're in.
Absolutely. And it's simple. If you seek the kingdom and all of this will be added to you, it'll come. I like to think like this. I'm a money magnet. Money will find me. If my heart is right and God can trust me, he's going to open those doors. Money is going to find me when I'm doing my part. So I tell the young people, my young nephews, I say, you don't have to hustle and struggle and go after it the wrong way with the wrong intentions. Just get your heart right, get your education, pray, live right. I'm telling you, all these things will come. And they're seeing the hand of God move. And we got to say that more to this generation, because it's an instant generation. They want everything right now. And I'm saying we have to work for it.
Yeah. And what is inspiring to this generation and to anyone learning to walk by faith is that God is, because I just was literally just texting my friends about this, is we associate, God blessing us with waiting an extended period of time, which we know he does, but we also know that he's able to expedite work too.
Come on, sir. Come on. He'll take you to the front of the line, Doc.
Man.
He will take to the front of the line when he see your heart,
because and that's when you talk about your faith making room for favor.
Yes.
And because I've lost connection with friends because of the favor on my life.
Wow.
They were wondering, like, well, are you sure this is God, or how can you know that this is him doing this? I'm like, because I know I'm favored. Like, and you should know that you have a level of favor too.
Absolutely. And it's all tied to your purpose. No matter what comes your way, the enemy can never stop destiny and purpose. It's coming. Before the foundation of the world, it was destined that you were going to be. You are. Like Stowe, like for you to be where you are now, before you were born, God knew you would be sitting in that chair with 107.3, impacting, I mean, having global reach by way of a radio say. Nothing can stop that. There were people who tried. Their weapons were formed, but they didn't prosper because the greater one has the greater purpose that's gonna stand. So I'm like, you don't have to fear. Just lay back and receive the blessings of God. Walk in your peace, walk in your victory.
Yeah, you just keep opening doors because we know because we preach that the weapon formed against us won't prosper a lot. Like we love that. But in the Bible, when you read the context
Come on,
that you understand that the reason why it won't prosper is because God knows who's making the weapon.
Come on. I believe my story because I know who wrote it. I know who wrote this story, and he's a finisher. He's going to finish what he started. He who began the good work. That's why people be like, he's the Alpha. I'm like, you can't just call him the Alpha.
Man.
The Alpha and Omega. He's going to finish this work. Man. And you rest in that.
That's so good. That's so good. So that was a good church service. So August 20th.
Take up the offering now. Take up the offering.
Right. August 20th, you will be here in Columbus, Ohio for the Gospel Superfest. Yourself, Donnie McClurkin, Shirley Caesar, Randy Weston, Risen, Byron Poppet, like it's the all-star lineup. So besides yourself, who are you excited to see hit the stage?
Man, I'm really excited to see my boy James Fortune. He's got that banking record. I think by this week he'll be number one with probably his 7th single. Definitely excited to see my guy Kalante Gavins, a young cat, got an old spirit. It's like he was raised by the prophets of old. Right. And of course Shirley Caesar, who to me is just, oh my God, when I say legendary. And then Donnie McClurkin, of course, my big brother, who's a trailblazer to me. Just so many. And when they come together, the atmosphere is always so charged because it's like family. It's like a family reunion. We're all coming together that night to edify, to encourage, and strengthen the body of Christ. You made it through this pandemic. God's got greater. He's got better. So we're just going to kind of add fuel to the fire, man, and just fire the people up. We got to stir this gift up because people have been praising with these masks on. I'm like, listen, the mask is off. Open your mouth. Throw your head back and give God the glory. Come on now. You made it. Millions didn't make it, but you was one of the ones that did. Well, let's give him glory. So that's what we're going to do that night, Doc.
Yeah, and I think, and to go on that, like we are still living through it, though.
Yeah.
Like God is keeping us in motion through everything.
And I'm like, if you had it like me, I mean, I had it in a bad way. That's why I sing the song God did. I'm talking an oxygen level of 72, double pneumonia, on a ventilator for 10 days. But the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous, there was 1,100 people at the ICU praying for me. When doctors were saying that you probably are going to, you will probably pass within the next day or so, my daughter was like, we're not going to disrespect you because you're studying medicine, but we know the chief physician.
Wow.
And our report says that my dad is healed. And so the prayers of the righteous brought me back. With that, all of them with those testimonies, more than ever, you should be like, even though we're still dealing with it, you got to have a mindset and just know who you are and whose you are. And that only comes if you can stand on the warranty and authority of a promise, concerning your healing. So you don't have to walk in fear. Yeah. I'm looking for them radical people that night that look, you made it out of this thing. Come on, that's enough to praise God.
Yeah. My pastor just talked about this on Sunday. There's a difference between having a victory and then having triumph.
Yeah, come on, Doc.
Yeah, because he said when David hit Goliath with the stone, that was the victory. But his triumph came when he took the enemy's sword.
Now, let me see. Where do I send my heat offering? I'm gonna just send you like a book of food stamps or something like that. What can I send this book of food stamps? Doc, that's good, man.
Yeah, and we have like you're saying, we have a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be thankful for, and to do it on this level that's coming to the city. This is huge for Columbus.
Yes,
this is
sir.
Big deal for Columbus, and I think you all won't be disappointed either.
Absolutely. Yeah, when the saints get together, anything can happen.
Anything.
And look, you got it from preaching from Shirley Caesar may start a 3-night revival. Once oh my God, Johnny may go to prophesy. We don't know what's gonna happen. Anything can happen. But I want to say to the people, your anticipation opens the door for the manifestation. I'm expecting God to do something that night, and don't just come and be a spectator. Yeah. Your anticipation will open the door. You mess around and get your healing just sitting there praising.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. We got that's a daily devotion right there.
Yes, sir.
That's daily right there. And to like walk in the spirit of expectation.
Yeah. I go to the mailbox every week. I'm like, Lord, I'm believing you for stuff. And when I'm kind of expecting, and I'm telling you, it happens. Sometimes the apology is already in the making. It can already be in the mail. Your healing can already be like sitting right there waiting on you to just reach up and grab it by faith. So I'm like, but you have to have that expectancy. If you ain't expecting God to do nothing, it's like, are you kidding me? That's like going to the bank and you have made no deposits and you want to make a withdrawal. No. No.
Yeah, we do it on the daily. We trust people we don't know to do stuff. Like we have an expectation.
Exactly.
But God never fails.
Never.
That's good. So where can we continue to follow you at? Go ahead and get that single. God did it.
Hey, well, www.earnestpugh.com. Of course, all of my handles are at Earnest Pugh. And Ernest, as you can see, spelled EARNEST, and then Pugh is PUGH on everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm even on TikTok now.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah, I've been trying, man. I'm like, oh God, another platform. Oh, and I'm not doing Snapchat. Everybody's like, get on Snapchat. I'm like, no, it's too quick. No,
it's too quick.
Like, I'm older. I need to take my time and lay a foundation, Saints. I'm gonna give you an introduction, 3 points, a conclusion, then we're gonna go on.
Oh, that's good. Man, I appreciate you taking your time with me today. I look forward to seeing you in August, hit that stage, and we can finally meet in person. This is our second interview virtually, but now we can finally meet in person.
In person, Doc, and we'll get a picture too.
Absolutely.
All right, Doc.
All right.